how long have you had your wood miser? You got the same thing, right?
I got exactly the same as yours.
So how long have you had it?
About 2 years.
And you cut all the time?
I could stay busy full time with it if I had the logs to do it with. I have enough demand that I could stay sawing full time with it.
But you're saying the demand is for the longer logs?
Not all of it, but a lot of it is. They're specialty cuts. Like I have a customer that I set that does all pole barn buildings.
Yep.
That he does double trusses together, and he has to have those a board cut that matches his
the width
treated
of the
6x6s.
Oh.
So that he has to have exactly the right width in there, so those trusses slide down over top of that 6x6.
Right. So custom cuts.
Custom cuts and long beams.
So I have 3 boxes of blades, and I haven't changed the first one yet.
Okay.
I've been really impressed with them.
I have a sharpener, but I don't have it set up yet. Make sure you keep water in your thing and keep your water on it when you run it, because if you don't, it gets hot, and where they welded that blade together, they'll separate on you.
Really? Well, I've been running water and keeping the water on it just to keep it cool. I thought it was to lubricate the cut, but you're saying it's to keep the blade cool.
Yes. I had my son-in-laws run it, and they didn't keep the jug full of water, and it ran out, and where they weld this band together, it separates. It gets hot, and it comes right apart in here in the middle.
Well, I've always kept the water on it because it seemed to cut better when I ran the water. But keeping it cool, that makes sense. What do you think about like a planer head? Do you see any value in that? Have you had demand for it with people that you're cutting for? If
you drag your logs through very much dirt, it dulls your blade really fast, and so they have that little planer on that goes with the mill that cuts the bark and cleans that ahead. I'm not sure it's available for our models.
I haven't seen it for this. I was thinking that the one that's on the rollers like this, that's an actual planer head that rolls back and forth, so you can really smooth your timbers up so you don't get the rough cut.
I've never tried any of those. I have a 16-inch regular commercial planer that oh,
so you cut your boards and then
so I can just run them through to plane them. It'll plane any of these big timbers you got here. It will plane those.
But most of the people are asking for the rough cut.
They like the rough cut.
And so I don't know that makes any sense. I mean, I'm not building cabinets or furniture.
Occasionally for the real finished insides look, some of them like to have it planed, but the majority like this little rough look.
Yeah. Well, it's been such a good little sawmill, and I just see just years and years of continuous use out of it.
They work really well. The only thing is sometimes as you use it a lot, you'll wish you had a log roller, which the bigger models have got that automatic roller.
I do have a log roller. It's right over here. If that rolls the logs really, really nice.
That's what I use at my mill.
Yeah, just use the tractor and set them up there.
But at times it'd be nice just to grab the lever and go like this and have it roll over.
Just turn it over.
Instead of get off and start the loader and move it.
Anything negative to say about this machine? Frustrations that you have?
I really haven't had any, because before I bought mine, I researched it really heavy, and I only had 2 choices, and the wood miser was one of those choices, and it was my preferred choice. And when I found one, this model, at a good price, I just jumped on it. And it has a diesel motor in it, and it has.
Oh, you got that? See, I'm running gas, and you got diesel. I would prefer that, especially where we've got so much diesel equipment around here. But the gas motor seems to run
they're
just fine.
Yes.
What did you end up having to pay for yours?
We paid $6,000 for ours.
Yeah, that's our smoking deal for a diesel motor.
We had to go clear in the upper end of Montana to get it, but it was really a smoking deal, and it has a 25-foot cut on it.
Oh, see, and I'm 18, so you got a track extension plus a diesel motor.
I have 2 more tracks.
Dang it! Why do you always get the good deals? Yeah, I would like to be able to go to 25, because then you could comfortably cut 20 or 21. Which would let you cut timbers to 20 or whatever.
20 and 24 are real popular.
Where do you get most of your lumber? Where are you getting your trees?
I cheat, because we have 520 acres of virgin forest that my grandfather bought.
So you're getting off your own land.
So I get mine off our own land.
Again, you always get the good deals.
That's the basic reason why I bought my mill, is because we had a lot of trees and I was hiring it sawed.
Yeah.
And so I just But it's in a family trust, and at any time that could go. So I don't know. I've been trying to cultivate other avenues of
trying to find different
wood.
ways. The only way I'm getting it is doing construction projects on these cabins, and then they ask us to clear the lot, and then I get to bring the trees home. And I've got quite a few.
Pretty good pile there.
Yeah, but I think if I got serious about cutting, I'd burn through that pile pretty quick.
There's guys that bring them in by the semi-load. So you can get them.
I've been talking to Wilmore down there in St. Anthony. Wilmore Lumber. Wilmore is the sawmill down there. And they've got some contracts with the Forest Service, and I was going to get with them and say, guys, what would it cost to deliver me a truckload?
There's some guys that deliver firewood that brings it up out of southern Utah that does it cheaper, and you probably can get a better deal with them guys than you can.
No kidding. Even from these guys that are working right across the street. Holy cow.
Because Wilmore's have their own sawmill, and they don't want to like the competition.
Yeah. So,
you're going to pay premium for their logs.
Right. But, well, we'll have to get with you and see who those guys out of southern Utah are. What are you finding, are you charging? Is it just board foot? And what are you charging a board foot?
I charge by the board foot, but mostly what I've done for commercial sawing is they bring their own logs in, and I have just sawed their logs.
Right.
So they pay me by a board foot.
But it's just a cut price because they're providing the lumber.
They provide their own logs, and I just
give me a comparison. If I bring you a tree, what do you charge a board foot? And then if you supply the lumber, the trees, what's the board foot cost?
Usually when I supply the tree, I call BMC and ask them what it would cost for that same log.
Yep.
And then I give them a little less.
So kind of going rate minus a percentage.
Right.
Well, for me, living down in the flatlands, 5 minutes from Home Depot, buying a sawmill made absolutely no sense because I could go to Home Depot and buy lumber cheaper than I could produce it. But out here in this environment, having access to the trees and it being so far from another lumber source where I can get boards, this thing just keeps paying for itself over and over again, saving me the travel and the time, and giving me the convenience to make those custom cuts, like you said, for whatever I might need here on projects around the house. Also,
you're going to see an increase in lumber prices because the President of the United States just got in a big fight with Canada over the embargo they put on milk, and so he put an embargo on their lumber, where we get the majority of our lumber
is out of Canada. Well, I've noticed it as I've been bidding houses and cabins for this summer that I had $12 a sheet for 4x8 half-inch OSB panels, and they're up around $15 now, and it's killing me. I'm having to go back to owners and say, I need to change my bid. Having that sawmill and being able to cut my own boards is making me a lot of money. More than anything, it's the convenience of having what I need when I need it, where I'm in a situation that's going to cost me 2 hours to go somewhere and get something. The convenience for me was that we did a lot of log homes. Yeah. And so I was always hauling a log somewhere to try to get a custom cut to a certain custom side to fit into a certain spot. Yeah. Either flattened on one side or flattened on the other side. And I always was on my wish list for a long time to have my own that I could just be able to go and do it and take it back to the job. Yeah. You want to watch, so if you can cut, like if you need some 2x6s. Yeah. Then you can cut here and then bring this to 5.5 inches, and then cut your 5.5 inch pieces off by having and save this piece as a 3x12 or a 2x12. Your heavy demand is in 2x8s, 2x6s, and 2x4s. Okay. So 4, 6, 8. Mm-hmm. That's where that's why is it when you say, are we going full dimensional, like a full 2 inches, or we're actually dimensional lumber 1.5 by 3.5 inches? I cut them 1.5 by 3.5 and replace that regular stud with my cut, because they're accurate enough that I don't have to plane them. I can still build. So slow down, be smooth. Well, I've been cutting everything to a full 2 inches by 4 inches, or 2 inches by full 6 inches, and my thought was that I could re-saw that or re-plane it to whatever. But if you need to, you can. But if you start getting, you're only cutting a 1/2 inch off of here, then it's pretty easy to get it not flat. Yeah. So I think you just make a specific cut for the specific board that you need. And I found that it's most people don't even notice that that's not a plain board when I
cut them at dimensional size.
Yeah, they can't even tell the difference. As long as you got a sharp blade and you're nice and smooth.
People never have noticed that that's rough sawed lumber.
Yeah, so as you built those shops and those buildings, my concern has always been the twist that you get as some of this stuff that's not kiln dried maybe dries a little bit. What do you do, or how do you bring it together to minimize some of that?
As you cut that and saw it when it's green, you need to do like you've done here and put a sticker under it.
Yeah, so it can air all the way around it.
And then band it.
Oh.
Then it'll hold.
Okay, so that it's in the pile, it doesn't cup or twist.
You sticker, then it's banded, then as it dries, then it stays straight. Wider than that, but that's all wider I can run through. But this edge here,
leave that live edge.
Yep, with the live edge on it, and then you go in through that and belt sand that off smooth.
Yeah.
And put a resin on top of that.
That would look really pretty.
And these knots and the things that's in that makes a character to that, and
the resin just fills in there and makes it smooth.
And you need to make them just a little wider, the full 2 inches.
Okay. For countertops, go thicker.
It helps keep from your warping so much.
Get rid of the cupping that we're getting.